Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lewis E. Martin Stadium here in Shaler, Pennsylvania, where tonight the Shaler Titans host the North Hills Indians. Hi, everybody. John Irwine alongside Matt Prucker for coverage of tonight's game here on SATV as the 4-2 Titans host the 2-4 Indians. Matt, it's a great night for football. It's Hall of Fame night here in Shaler area on the field at halftime, but tonight we've got a big playoff implication game for both of these teams as the Titans host the Indians. What a game we have.
Absolutely, and for the Titans, they're going to be able to rebound off these last couple of weeks, allowing a combined 111 points to Franklin Regional and Woodland Hills, so they're going to be able to rebound, and no better time to do it than now against the North Hills team that's also vying for playoff contention.
Absolutely, North Hills 1-2 in conference as we speak, obviously barring the result of tonight, but could be a different story, right? They could be 2-2 tonight. They could be 1-3. The Shaler Titans 0-1 after Woodland Hills could be 1-1 or 0-2 tonight, depending. Now for the Titans, let's get into their key plays and players to win tonight's game. Obviously a historic game, rivalry game going back 30, 40 years from North Hills and Shaler. But who is back tonight for the Shaler Titans? That could make a big, big problem for the North Hills Indians.
Yeah, we've talked about this. We've all been worried, when's he going to be back? Is he going to be back for the North Hills game? Yes, he is. That is Carson Pierce. He is back in the lineup tonight. He was able to practice the past couple of days with pads on too, which is really important. So that indication he practiced, he's going to be fired up, ready to go. He's going to want to play every snap, although we doubt that's going to be the case because you want to try to work him back in, you know, as the scheme goes. But as for this defense, they've got to be happy. They've got their senior captain of the defense back there, Carson Pierce, back. And they're going to be all riled up and ready to go.
Absolutely, and for North Hills, I think tonight, again, 1-2 is not the greatest thing to have in conference right now. It's a very slim chance that they can still make playoffs, obviously, with that record. But coming off a 50-0 blowout win over Fox Chapel, that's going to boost your morale a little bit. And I think tonight, for Connor Davis, he needs to up his percentage, the quarterback of North Hills. His 58 completion percentage needs to be increased. I think tonight it needs to be at least above 65% tonight to make a difference. And I think the one guy that he has to get involved quick is Julius Green. Now, he is a running back, but 47 attempts, around 180 yards, 3 yards per carry, no touchdowns, but he's a playmaker. We saw him last year at Martirelli Stadium, what North Hills did to Shaler, just dismantled them from front to back. And I think tonight the North Hills Indians can make a huge upset against Shaler. And again, we saw a couple weeks ago, we said if we saw Shaler at 4-2 and North Hills at 2-4, I don't think we would have said North Hills had a chance of winning this game. But the last 2 weeks for Shaler, it's just been blown out of the water. You said 111 points, where tonight North Hills can make a big, big statement. Now for the Shaler Titans, what do they have to do to win tonight's game?
They have to play clean football. That starts in 3 phases. 1, fundamentally, they have to make sure that they have tackles. You can't have any missed tackles. This North Hills team will run all over you if you keep missing tackles. We saw that last week, especially against Woodland Hills. Number 2, you talk about penalties. They've got to be clean on that front. Too many times we see unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike conducts. We've got to be clean and disciplined tonight for the Titans to win. And number 3, most likely that's going to have to be in terms of limiting turnovers. Talk about 7 turnovers last week against Woodland Hills on homecoming. Smetanka threw 4 interceptions, the most he has ever thrown in a game. So he's going to have to rebound from that. This whole Titans team's going to rally around. I'm not looking forward to individual players. The team collectively has to rally around each other and find a way to come out here with a win.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that aspect. For North Hills, I think tonight their keys to win, you got 3 things. 1, turnovers, like you just said. Obviously, last week, 7 turnovers for the Titans against Woodland Hills, 4 for Smetanka. I think, again, you get to Smetanka tonight, you cause turnovers, you're in a good place. Number 2, beat Shaler's coverage. Shaler has been exposed the last 2 weeks with Scoop Smith of Woodland Hills and Aiden Huddock of Franklin Regional. You beat the coverage tonight, you free up Julius Green, you can have an awesome night. And number 3, play like North Hills. Play like the tough, gritty North Hills Indians that you are tonight, and you can go 2-2 in conference play and have a hope for playoffs against Pine Richland in 2 weeks. Right now, I'm at a loss for words because I didn't think we'd expected to be here with a 4-2 Shaler Titan team, 2-4 North Hills Indian team. But I'm excited as can be, and we're excited for you guys to see the outcome of tonight's game. So join us up in the booth for coverage of tonight's game.
We are the 2023 varsity tennis team, and you're watching SATV.
This is a very special weekend for the Shaler Area School District as we have the privilege of inducting members into the Shaler Area Athletic Hall of Fame. Now we ask that you draw your attention to the visitor side at the 50-yard line, where we are going to proudly introduce our inductees. Our first inductee is Tim Bentley. Tim played 4 years of football and 2 years of basketball for Etna High School, earning 6 varsity letters. In football, he started at guard and linebacker and was selected to the Class B All-Whitfield team as a guard. After high school, Tim continued playing football at Edinburgh, where he started as a freshman at middle linebacker. He then attended McCook Junior College, where he started at guard and linebacker and earned all-conference honors. In 1968, Tim accepted a scholarship to Marshall, where he lettered twice and was named to the MAC All-Conference team his senior season. From there, he distinguished himself on several minor league football teams, ultimately being inducted into the Minor Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1993. After playing 8 seasons of minor league football, Tim competed in the sport of powerlifting, where he won 3 world championships. One of Tim's biggest personal achievements was being the first man over the age of 40 to bench press over 600 pounds, a record that stood for 23 years. Tim Bentley. Our next inductee, Tom Farrington. Tom earned an impressive 7 varsity letters in high school, 3 in football, and 4 in basketball. In basketball, he started at every position, averaging 13.9 points his junior year and 17 points his senior season, earning the 2-time team captain all-conference recognition. In football, Tom was a starting running back and safety. He had 14 career interceptions, 136 tackles, 15 touchdowns, and 2 passing touchdowns. Tom captained the 1998 Titan football team that won the Quad A North Section Championship. He was twice named first team all-conference safety, and the Post-Gazette named him to the North Fab 22 team his senior season. After high school, Tom attended the U.S. military at West Point, where he was a 2-year letter-winning starting linebacker for Army. Tom Farrington. Our next inductee, Lauren Hackett Calderon. Lauren was simply dominant on the softball diamond at Shaler Area, earning 4 varsity letters and being named 4 times to the Post-Gazette North All-Star team. She was a PIAA Honorable Mention in 2010, a 2-time PIAA First Team All-Star in 2011 and 12, and was named the Post-Gazette's Player of the Year in 2012. Lauren was also instrumental in leading the Lady Titans to the Quad A PIAA Runner-Up Trophy in 2009. Lauren's success continued at Robert Morris, where she again earned 4 varsity letters. Her .983 career fielding percentage ranked 6th in school history. Her 367 putouts in a single season is still a school record, and she ranks 14th in Robert Morris history with 21 doubles. Lauren Hackett Calderon. Our next inductee is Frank Peckman. Frank is accompanied tonight by his sons, and his prowess as an offensive lineman earned him a full scholarship to Pitt, where he lettered for 3 seasons and was named a Big East All-American. Immediately after being hired by Shaler in 1970, Frank began a 32-year football and track coaching career, which included 27 years as head coach of the varsity girls track team. A highlight of Frank's career was coaching the record-setting 1995 Whitfield 1600-meter relay championship team consisting of Skylar DeFazio, Jen Igems, Bess Cylinder, and Dana Richter. Frank coached thousands of Shaler area student athletes in his coaching and teaching career. Frank Peckman. Our last inductee is a team, and they are the 2010-2011 Whitfield champion Shaler area girls basketball team. This amazing team compiled a regular season record of 20-2 and shared the section title with Oakland Catholic. They then proceeded on an incredible run through the Quad A Whitfield playoffs, defeating Fox Chapel, Penn Trafford, and Bethel Park to earn the opportunity to compete for a Whitfield championship. In a game the Tribune Review ranked the 7th best championship game of all time, the Lady Titans defeated Mount Lebanon 41-35, earning Shaler area its second Whitfield Girls Basketball Championship in the history of the district. In the PIAA playoffs that same year, the Lady Titans defeated Penn Trafford and Oakland Catholic before losing to eventual PIAA state champion Mount Lebanon. Representatives from the 2010-2011 Whitfield champion Shaler area girls basketball. How about a nice round of applause for your Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2023.
This is the 2023 Shaler area football team, and you're watching SATV.
And welcome back up into the booth for coverage of tonight's game. John Irwine and Matt Prucker up here in the booth here in Shaler area at Louis Mardik. And Matt, we just saw all the Hall of Fame nominees walk the field. What a legendary group of inductees we have this year. I mean, you talk about Shaler legends, that's as high as it can get.
Absolutely, it's very cool. One of the highest honors you can ever receive is being named to any Hall of Fame, especially the Hall of Fame of the school you went back in high school. Thinking you're 17, 18 years old, and you're going here, you're thinking, just high school, but it's such a great accomplishment. And all those guys, listening to their stories, talking all the way to the back, that the basketball team, the girls' basketball team, too.
Yep, the Whitfield Championship team.
Championship. That's what legends are made out of.
Yeah,
John.
we saw Tom Farrington take the field, a part of the 1998 football team. We saw Jack Bentley take the field, obviously power lifter, football player. Obviously, the first man, this was an interesting stat, first man over 40 to ever bench 600 pounds.
Yeah, I'm going to be lucky if I get a third of that. So,
I'm lucky right now at the age of 21 that I can even hit 200 at my prime. So for them, that's a great honor here in Shaler. It's good to see that they can get the props that they deserve. Again, we saw how many people have invested their time, obviously, 30-plus years from the 70s even. I mean, it's great to see that Shaler's community has grown into such a whole thing like that, to have a Hall of Fame night. It's a really special honor. And now for the football game going on right now, we have the Shaler Titans 4-2 hosting the North Hills Indians, the rivals, I would say, across the Babcock Boulevard, brawl, I would call it, right? That's what this is here tonight, not the backyard, the Babcock Boulevard brawl. And that's what this here is in Shaler area. We go back all the way to the 90s. You've got legends come across the field, back and forth from Shaler area to North Hills, Martorelli to Louis C. Mardik. I mean, this is the game when you're growing up in Shaler area, North Hills, you look forward to being in the student section and playing on the field every week.
And you look forward to beating them, too. The Titans have a great chance this year with one of their best rosters we've seen. Dropping their last two games. They're hoping to respawn. Big playoff game for both sides. I can't wait to watch this one, John.
Absolutely. And Daniel Dalton, the kicker for North Hills, 6'1" senior, will get this thing underway here at Louis C. And we are underway here on a Friday night here in October. Joey DiSabato is going to take on the catch back from his own from his goal line and get just in front of the 20-yard line. Not a bad take off a back step. And now for the Titans, we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks, obviously the last 2 weeks for this offense. We saw it dip down a little bit against Plum and Hempfield, but against Franklin and Woodland Hills, a rough week for the Shaler Titans offense.
And you take a look, and sort of everything went wrong in those two games. And you take a look at back, it was penalties, it was turnovers, it was just sloppy execution. Those are all things that are fixable, and that's what this team can do to turn it around.
I agree 100%, and as we see now, the three-man set with Schmitenka in the backfield. Schmitenka has to look. He's been on his legs a lot recently. He's just going to throw it away. And that's what we've seen a lot of in the last 2 weeks was the scrambling from Keegan Schmitenka, and the incomplete and inconsistency from him has been something we haven't seen all season.
Yeah, when you need to scramble, you made the wise decision there just to throw it away. And they had 2 receivers on the right side. They had 1 to the left, and both were covered by at least 2 Indians defenders. They know that Keegan Spatanka is the biggest threat the Titans offense has, and so far they've been trying to take it away, and I'm sure that's what the game plan has been.
And then the safeties already back at the 40-yard line as they hand this one up to Razzo. He's going to get stuffed for a gain of 1 by the North Hills Indians. And we talk about this North Hills Indians tough and gritty just team in general. I mean, you saw the guys get in on that one. You've got Jacob Messina, 6'4", 265 senior. Jamar Allen, 6'1", 330 sophomore. I mean, those guys getting in and in dirty here in the first 30 seconds here in Shaler area. And it'll be a jump. They got him to jump. I believe it was Messina actually on the jump. Was just talking about him again, the 265 senior. He was going to create havoc all night for the Titans, but for the North Hills Indians, he's going to have a 5-yard penalty against his name.
And that's a big penalty on 3rd down. It takes from a 3rd down and long to a 3rd down and manageable. And we talked about penalties the key for the Titans. You'd have to think it'd be the same thing on the North Hills side.
Again, safeties deep, almost 20 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Schmatenka looking for something. Did DiSabato get a foot in? They're going to say he didn't. Went out of bounds. It'll be a 4th and 4. A lot of, I would say, crowd. There was a lot of players over on this near side of the field, and I think just Keegan Schmatenka was not able to find the man he wanted. Joey DiSabato will be a quick 4 and out for the Shaler Titans in only a minute. At 11 minutes.
Yeah, it was interesting there. We had 2 guys running to the same spot, and usually that doesn't work, and it didn't work there either, as now the kick's away.
And Mathis is going to let this one roll, and a good one from Douglas. We've talked about his punting. Will he have the distance? And he got it there. There's actually a flag around the 25-yard line on the North Hills sideline. And they just noticed it, and I think it's against the Titans now, which is not a good sign.
It looked like it was a legal formation based on what I saw the FAR official signaling. I think they had covered up too many men in the backfield.
And again, what we said from the Titans was you can't have turnovers and you can't have mistakes, but penalties have just been killer at times like that. I mean, you get a great punt from Riley Douglas all the way down to the 30-yard line, and now it's wiped away, and you have to hope that Douglas gets the same boot off from his own 5, or Mathis doesn't decide to return this one.
And you see the importance of special teams there, and it's just special teams, you're waiting on the sideline, you come out, you just got to make sure you're in the right spot.
It'll be a high one. It'll be another flag. It's got blocked by the Indians. It's going to take a roll, and it'll be covered up. Now, what's the flag on? It's on Shaler again. And North Hills now is going to take over at around the 25-yard line, and the call I saw from the referee, I believe it was a false start on Shaler area.
And now you just see compounding mistakes once again. You have the penalty, now you have another penalty and a high snap. And that's the 2 things we've talked about you have to avoid, sloppy mistakes and penalties. And so far they have 2 penalties and 1 mistake that led to a block punt.
2 penalties within 1 type of play. It's a punt. And now Connor Davis will take under center. Mathis in the backfield. Jack Martin was in fullback. They're going to switch things around, and this is going to be good for the Indians. Try and create some havoc for this defense of the Titans. As Davis looks left, now he looks right, across the middle, wide open, and one-handed interception. Joey DiSabato soars for the one-handed grab, and the Titans take over in 1 play, and that's what the Titans needed to respond.
What a phenomenal catch by DiSabato. Read the quarterback's eyes under the safety, the last man back, and he forced one there. He had him initially, hesitated just a bit, and allowed DiSabato to get over there. And you see what he can do on the offensive end with his one-handed catches. That was the best catch I've seen him make all year.
And that's got to be a saving grace for Shaler, because Jack Martin off his wheel route, the fullback, was going to be in the end zone. DiSabato read it, went right underneath the route, one-handed nonetheless, and got it. And the Titans take over again from their own 20. It'll be a quick pitch out. It'll go to Caden Orga. He'll get a good couple of yards on that. And again, Caden Orga, he's been a guy that we saw for the first couple of weeks, didn't really have his name get called too much. He wasn't really a prominent star like DeSabato was, or Brandon London was, or obviously Keegan Schmatenka. He had his couple of weeks, obviously, against Hempfield, against Franklin Regional, where he was making a lot of plays, and then ever since, alongside the rest of this offense, has been quiet.
Yeah, sometimes the offense seems to forget about him a little bit. They're trying to. He's obviously second field to DeSabato, but he's a great player in his own right. Nice to see him getting some work there on the screen pass. And now we got a false start.
And yep, and that. Oh, Joey DeSabato thinks otherwise. He thinks it's actually on Mathis on the near sideline, but it'll be on Shaler. It was a pretty obvious one on Shaler, nonetheless. And that's again a tough break. You just had a great first down, getting 5 yards, and you're starting back over on a 2nd and 10 situation.
Well, we've had 7 plays from offense, and we've had 3 penalties.
Again, it can't happen. Obviously, one penalty was declined from North Hills, obviously on the blocked punt, but still a penalty nonetheless. So now 3 penalties, all combined for 15 yards. Schmatenka looks left, stays left. It'll be a quick throw and intercepted, and it's going to be a pick 6. What a wacky turn of events for Logan Mellon to take this one in. Was looking for Caden Orga and overthrew him by about a foot.
I think you saw his reaction immediately when he threw it. He knew that was overthrown, and that's just a pass you don't see him make. I mean, he had him open in the flat. Wasn't going to get a whole ton of yards, but just one of those where you just got to make that throw. And now that he overthrew it, that's going to be a very easy pick 6, probably the easiest pick 6 in his career.
That'll be one that he gets to just say, I've got a pick 6 in my career type of play. Now Jack Scarcella is going to put the extra point through, put the Indians up 7 with 9:27 remaining. It'll be 7-0 in favor of the Indians. And let's just talk about what we saw in the last 2.5 minutes of play. I mean, we saw the Titans come out flat, the Indians throwing a pick, which would have been a touchdown, barring Joey DeSabato's interception, and the Titans throwing a pick 6 on the 2nd or 3rd play of offense.
So we have poor execution, too many flags, and then turnovers.
When will it clean up? And for the Titans, it can't be a question. It needs to be a statement of clean it up now.
It's been 2 games, these last 2 games, I've seen all 3 of those come back to hurt the Titans. And now, start off the game like this. I mean, you got to figure it out at some point, right, John? It's just been first 4 weeks were so awesome, but now we got these 2 weeks, and you got to figure out something. And
again, North Hills is no easy opponent. Obviously, we remember the earlier schedule. We'll get back to that as Dalton gives this boot. It'll be a roller, but it'll go back for a touchback past Joey DeSabato. And like I just said, that schedule for North Hills, you read it off paper: Bethel Park, USC, Gateway, Woodland Hills, Penn Hills. 1 win against Gateway out of those 5, 26-14. You don't look at that and you think to yourself, well, they obviously have 4 losses, but against those 4 teams, they've been around and floating around, and most have been in the top 5 of the 5A rankings.
Yeah, and all those teams made the playoffs last year, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yes.
So, and that's what they want to do. They understand, okay, we got to play some higher level competition, and then we come to this section in the conference, and we're prepared. And so far, they've made good use of it with their win against Fox Chapel last week, and now off to a good start here in this one.
And North Hills, again, leaving the inside of the numbers open towards the hash marks for Shaler area. As Schmatenka has to scramble, feeling pressure, stays on his feet, will get dragged for a gain of 3 on the play. And it might be 2, actually. But again, we talked about Shaler area's offense and these throws towards the outside of the numbers, towards the sideline. Teams have read it to a point of they're not even having their safeties, play inside the 10, play even close to 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and they don't play even near the middle of the field.
Yeah, they're using a lot of, it looks like cover 2, cover 4, and then going into man off of that because they're leaving the middle open. That's something that the Titans are going to have to exploit here as we'll see on this play.
It'll be a deep ball for Brandon London, and I believe it's another pick, and that's green on that one. Back-to-back picks, and when will it clean up for Shaler area?
Well, Schmatenka probably saw what I saw too. The middle of the field is open. You commented on that, John. Tried to force one there to Brandon at London, and it just wasn't open.
And when again will it start to feel like Keegan Schmatenka will not have to try and force those plays? Because for right now, it does feel like he's trying to force that play. I mean, obviously he's wide open down the field, but again, that's what Julius Green was doing. He was not in the middle of the field. He played outside the numbers and came in and got the pick.
Yeah, great read there by Green with a huge interception.
And now Davis across the field. He's got Green in stride, still on his feet, and gets the first down just short of the 45-yard line. And again, that's the guy I said tonight. That's who they got to go to. Julius Green, 47 attempts, 155 yards, 3.3 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns, but just as good with his hands as we just saw. A tough, again, a tough pick with Brandon London running into you on that.
He had no fear in his eyes on that play, and the first down on the following.
And now they hand it off to Martin, but swamped instantly in the backfield for the Titans. It'll be a big loss of 5.
Martin, the ball carrier.
That's a great tackle there. Brandon London in on it. And that's what the Titans needed, excuse me. And again, we talk about the guy who just came back for the Shaler Titans. We speculated for the last couple weeks it would be this game, Carson Pierce. What impact does he have tonight for the Shaler Titans? And now I believe we have an offsides on the Titans and wipe that play off the board. And now the Titans still having to talk it out. I believe it was Barnhart and I believe it was Don Battaglia talking that one over, so it's a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 10 from the 45.
And another penalty for the Shaler Titans. Titans show blitz. It'll be a throw out to Mathis. He cuts inside, but a great wrap-up tackle by Jordan Winters to get there. And again, we said tackles being a big thing for the Titans, completing them. It was shaky, but Winters got there.
Yeah, that was a tough tackle, too. Semi-open field. He had to dive back across his left and got him out of shoelaces to take him down.
From the 42.
And now North Hills with a 3rd and 6. I don't believe anywhere in field goal range unless one of their 2 kickers has a boot. And Davis was looking left immediately, now has Green on the cutback route, still inside. And he'll get across for the first. It'll be good. It'll be a first down for the Indians, and a pretty smooth one nonetheless from Davis to Green, and a connection they have so far that's been perfect.
Yeah, I saw something pretty interesting on the sideline. North Hills Indian lost his helmet, and it looked like a Shaler player threw his mouth.
Jamar Allen. Jamar Allen now coming off the field because his helmet came off. Not sure what that was all about. I didn't even happen to see it.
It looked like a face mask the officials missed. I mean, that's usually what happens when the helmet comes off. Interesting play locked up on the near side.
Martin to the right. Might be a blocker. He does. It'll be a Davis throw. A great haul in there for a gain of 6. It'll be Green. And again, we said the hands are there, and that one was a laser, and he got it in.
Yeah, Titans did a good job of playing that one conservative. Didn't allow him to gain any more yards after the catch. But there were 2 guys. I think one of them was like, okay, I'm going to try to see if I can bat this down or pick it off. But nice quick pass there, and they'll take 4 yards on that play.
And again, all offensive players for the North Hills Indians taking their time, getting the calls that they need to make this a successful drive as they're going to hand it off to Martin. Still on his feet with speed, north to south, up the middle of the field, gets inside the Shaler 15. And Jack Martin making his name known, the 5'11", 180 junior. And you would have talked north to south speed. He showed it right there.
Very good job there, being patient, waiting for his blocks to set up on that run.
Now Davis, he's going to hand it off to Martin again up the middle. And he's going to gain around 4. And that's what's going to be big for the Indians, is the tough and grittiness of their team is going to really propel them into what they want here tonight, a big victory to help them into playoffs. Again, 1-2 so far on a 1-win streak against Fox Chapel. Their last game will be Pine Richland at the end of the year. A big game for the Indians. They win that game, there's a possibility as a wild card or even as a second place, depending on how Pine Richland plays, they can make playoffs. As Martin gets the call here again, dragged down by Battaglia. It'll be a 3rd and 4, I believe. 3rd and 3.
Hit by Battaglia.
And for the Indians, I mean, you got to look at this game and think to yourself, Matt, you know, we're not favorites, but not by much, obviously, after these last 2 weeks from the Shaler Titans.
Yeah, you got to come up with a big stop here. 3rd down. You think if you can knock them out, you can maybe force a field goal or at the very least make them go for a long 4th down.
This is a dangerous spot. Even though it's 3rd and 4, this is still red zone territory, and right now all they can see from the North Hills Indians is the red zone. It's the Titans jumped, no flag. And let's see, I think we're going to have a timeout, actually.
Timeout is called by North Hills.
It is going to be a timeout by North Hills. So the Titans almost jumped. The Indians will call their first timeout of the quarter with 4:54 remaining. And score says 7-0, but it's a very, very close call to being 14 here, barring this play.
Yeah, that's what throwing 2 interceptions is going to do to you. You definitely feel like they should have scored more, but they didn't.
Absolutely. And again, for the North Hills Indians, I mean, right now, business is business. I mean, you're rolling right now. All the momentum is in your favor. You have 2 picks on Keegan Schmatenko right now. Your offense is pretty much running on all cylinders. You're getting everyone involved. Connor Davis has looked phenomenal. I mean, right now, if you're the North Hills Indians, this is a guaranteed 6, and then with a field goal, point after attempt, this is going to be 7 how you're playing.
Well, but you threw an interception last time when you got the ball off the punt, so you got to think, well, defense can come up with a big play here. I mean, it would be even on the turnover sheet.
For Connor Davis, you can't overthink this in this area. Again, you have Jack Martin. He's been great so far. It's a 3rd and 4. You would still get a 4th down attempt here as you're only on the 7-yard line. You need to get to the 3. Davis looking left, feels the pressure, steps on his feet, is going to scramble on his feet, dives, got across. Touchdown Indians! Connor Davis on the scramble. What a play from Connor Davis. He makes it look easy.
Well, he had to fight for every yard on that touchdown run, and that was very good coverage by the Titans secondary, almost too good to the fact where Davis was like, I'm going to take this down and I'm going to take off. Takes it in for the touchdown, and now 2-score lead for North Hills.
And that's what you want. Again, a 3rd and 4 situation turning into a touchdown. And Scarcella, good hold, last second, got it under and got it through, makes it 14 in favor of the Indians. And we saw 41 last week. It's not that, but still with a whole 5 minutes and a quarter to go, it's getting ugly so far.
Well, we saw a reverse in trend. The Titans scored in their opening drives the last 2 games, and that didn't mean much. Maybe that doesn't mean much for this one either. Only down 14-0. This game far from over. But you got to get some positive yards on this drive, get into North Hills territory, get some of that momentum back. You'd have to think, because right now you've got to take some pressure off this Schmatenko. He's thrown 2 interceptions. The pick 6 was overthrown, and then the other one was great play by Green in the secondary. So you've got to establish some sort of running game, or else you're finding yourself to be one-dimensional, and any team can exploit that.
Yeah, and it all starts, I always say, I've been saying it for the last couple of years, it all starts with your special teams. What can the guys in the backfield do right now for the Shaler Titans off this kick return? They're going to need something big here, something to propel this Titans offense into some momentum. Dalton's boot, it'll be in play this time. It'll be Troy Signetti on the take, falling backwards. He's got an open lane, cuts back inside, still on his feet, and gets a pretty good return all the way back to around the 28-yard line. Not a bad take from Troy Signetti. Puts the Titans in pretty decent field position.
Yeah, he saw the gap in the middle. He's like, I'm not going to try to do anything fancy with cutbacks. He just takes, okay, don't have to score a touchdown off this. Takes his yardage and gives the Titans good field position to start off the next drive.
Yep, and Troy Signetti, again, hasn't really been back there for kick returns, but gets his chance there, puts the Titans at the 28. And the Titans have a lot of work to do, down 14 with 4:40 remaining in the first. They're going to put Razzo back there. We've yet to call his name. Like you said, Matt, they've strayed away a little bit from the last 2 weeks. Will they decide to implement it back into their game? It'll be a scramble now, a pitch off to Razzo. He's got to make something happen. Blown up immediately on the play. Ryan Carey in on the tackle, the 6'3", 200 junior.
Behind the line of scrimmage by Carey.
Yeah, that speed options worked in the past, and that time it was read very well by 2 North Hills defenders, and that was going absolutely nowhere.
Blown up immediately, just a busted play from the Titans. And if you are the Shaler Titans, you got to think, how do we free up our receivers right now? Because we cannot get anything. For the Indians, this is perfect. It'll be a low snap. Schmatenko feels the pressure, has to scramble, pushes it off. It'll be a dropped pass and 2 flags on the play. That's going to be a first down. Titans, I believe, on a pass interference. Was looking for Joey DiSabato on the play. It was the last push. I believe it was Mathis. Just mistimed it, I would say. It was just too early. It would have been a great play if he timed it.
Yeah, it would have been a great play if he timed it, but he didn't. And you mentioned their physicality earlier on, and they were physical on that play, but you can't do that.
And again, Stephen Murphy, number 13, and number 4, Julius Green, who we've said earlier tonight, both standing around the 50. They are around 10 to 12 yards most times, even 15 sometimes away from the line of scrimmage playing deep. It'll be a sweep off to DeSabato. He's got a block. He's got speed. He's got a first down out of bounds. It'll be a flag on the play as he runs into some bleachers. And you've just got to hope on that play DeSabato's not shaken up, and that's not a flag on the Titans.
You know, take a look. They've come out and covered 2 the last few plays, and when you take a look at that, it allows some space if you can get a block on the edge.
And I think that block on the edge was a hold.
Well, that explains why you got such a good running room then, John.
And it will be a hold on the Shaler Titans. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And again, just I mean, you can't really call it unfortunate anymore. You've had too many.
Well, yeah, unfortunate in the mindset like, oh, we can do this, but it's just got to be fundamentals now. You can't hold them there. I mean, you had a nice gain already, and now it just goes back to where you were. At least you get the first down, move up a little bit.
It'll be a 1st and 7, so you get a reset.
Not the worst thing in the world.
No,
though.
you could have been near the 50, though. It'll be a 3-man set. Looking right, has to pump, scramble, and takes a big sack. Messina gets in there and gets to Schmatenka. Gets right through it again. I just said Messina and Allen are going to cause problems in that central part of the defensive line. And they're doing it right now, getting to Schmatenka.
Yeah, Schmatenka felt the pressure, and he needed to get out of there. The problem is when he did, he ran right into Messina, and there's no getting away from him once he's got 2 hands on you.
Again, not a very, I would say, complex defensive style. Like you said, a cover 2, cover 4 from North Hills, but working to perfection.
And cover 2 once again.
And they're going to be a sweep off to Orga, cut up the middle, get some room. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, +1. It'll be a 3rd and 9.
Tackled by Messina.
But yeah, it just depends whether that cover 2 or 4. They've been looking at the weakness of the cover 2 is the back corner and the middle of the field, deep between the safeties. They tried to throw that one pass to London, and then it was picked off. Great read by Green. But now 3rd down and 9. You got to go to the air again. And let's see, they still look like they're lined up in that cover 2.
Cannot afford a punt here with North Hills up 14. It'll be a designed scramble. He's going to have to cut left. On his feet now with speed. Schmatenka now spins and gets the first. And that's the part of Keegan Schmatenka's game that has been done so well over the past seasons and the past year and the past couple of games was his ability to read the field off of scrambles and gain yards and gain first downs.
Yeah, it looked like at least 2 of the North Hills Indians ran right past Schmatenka. And when you do that, that creates a lot of space up in the middle of the field. And Schmatenka saw that. I'm like, I'm not going to try to force a pass. I'm going to take off. And that's a nice 15-yard chunk play there for the Titans.
And that's huge. It'll be a pitch off to Razzo. He's going to try and gain some speed. He almost lost. He slips. He'll lose a yard on the play. And again, these plays outside the numbers and towards the sidelines have just not ended up in gains for the Titans.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been something there, but you saw the one defender was able to make his way into the backfield. And he was able to force him to break a tackle and keep on going, but he kept going laterally, was never able to turn the corner.
And Schmatenka under center, trips to his left. It'll be a pitch off to DeSabato. 3 Indians. Oh, it's a fake. It's a flea flicker to Peyton Plans. The trick up the sleeve from the Shaler Titans.
I didn't know he was a lefty. The lefty throw there, and what a great play design. Going in the bag of tricks, showing them something they haven't seen on film before. We haven't seen that play ever. And phenomenal job there. Now the Titans in the red zone.
And what a play call, not to just get the first down, but put yourself inside the 10-yard line. And now they go under center again. Maybe a new look Titans here. It'll be a handoff there. He fumbled the ball, though. Razzo on the pitch fumbled it. I think it's North Hills' ball. It is. Razzo didn't even grab the football on the original handoff. And after a great play, an instant turnover. The third one of tonight's game for the Titans.
Yeah, 3 turnovers in the first quarter, and you just got to get the snap. You got to get the handoff from Smetanka. I mean, you run this play so many times in practice, and here it's just something you just don't see.
I didn't even get the chance to talk about that great play call because I was going to say, on that flea flicker that you saw, I mean, DeSabato had waited until the very last moment to get that ball out. 3 North Hills defenders going in on the tackle, got it off the Peyton plans. It was so perfectionate. Or excuse me, it was such a good, perfect play to get yourself in a scoring position and wiped away. And now it'll be a pitch off to Martin with speed cutting towards the sideline and gets dragged down. A great wrap-up tackle, Jordan Winters. And Jordan Winters has been the man to stop Jack Martin so far.
Yeah, Pierce nearly tackled him in the backfield. He's been all over the place when he's been on the field, and you can see that if you're able just to force him back, reconsider, and it allows the second guy in Winters, in this case, able to take him down.
It'll be a 2nd and 7. We are under 45 seconds as I say that. Now North Hill's taking their time, knowing they don't have to rush anything. Still up 14 points. It'll be a shotgun. Davis is going to look right. It'll be a quick give off. It's going to Mathis. He'll get the first down up the sideline and get pushed out of bounds by Troy Signetti.
Davis's pass complete to Mathis.
Yeah, they've liked the screen pass look. They went to the left on the last time, then went back to the right. Just something quick pass, get your playmaker some space, and that time it worked for a first down.
And just exposing that middle of the field, or at least around the hash mark area, I would say, from the line of scrimmage in that first 5 yards, I mean, that has worked so well for the Indians right now. It'll be a pitch originally from Davis. Just didn't get the read he wanted. And it'll be a loss of yards. Aaron Berger on the tackle. Had me a little confused, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a designed pitch off. I think Davis just didn't like what he saw, tried to keep it, didn't like what he saw again, had to go down.
That was a good job by the defense to get into the backfield, and then once they did get in the backfield, they didn't jump, didn't try to chase after anything, and then just contained them and took them down for a loss.
And as we end the first quarter here at Lucy Mardig, the North Hills Indians lead the Shaler Area Titans 14-0.
Let's go Titans! You're watching SATV! You're watching
And welcome back up into the booth for second quarter coverage of tonight's game as the Indians have a 2nd and 13 from their own 22. Shaler shows blitz. It'll be a low snap. Davis loads across the field, wide open for Logan Johnson, and a tackle across the 50 by Caden Orga, but a first down for the Indians into Titan territory. And off of that fumble from Razzo, most people would say, right, that's a 7-point loss. That's not just a 7-point loss. That's a 7-point swing if the North Hills Indians go down and score.
Yeah, which they did the last time. I went off the interception, and both interceptions have resulted in their touchdowns. So the Titans have made it easy for them so far.
Looked like an offsides attempt. Now Jack Martin up this field with speed, gets past a bunch of Titans, still on his feet, didn't get tackled off the push, and gets into the Titans 20, into their, inside the 20-yard line. Jordan Winters, who I've been giving a lot of props to on tackles, tried to just give a shoulder push or maybe a shoulder hit to Jack Martin, but you can't do it to Jack Martin. He's 5'11", 180, doesn't sound the biggest, but his north to south speed is too much. And a quick hurry up from Davis.
Davis's pass is incomplete. We have a flag on the play.
It'll be a flag on the play. He was looking for Rayshot Temple, the 6'2 sophomore. They went hurry up. It was an ineligible receiver on the Indians. And that'll be, I believe, their second penalty on the night for Shaler. A different side of the story. 5 penalties resulting in 30 yards. Doesn't sound like a lot, but monumental penalties.
Temple also took a big shot after that. His first read was short to the near sideline. It wasn't open, so he tried to force one in there. Luckily, that wasn't intercepted.
And for Temple, good to see not shaken up after the play. Gonna move a man in motion. It's Austin Laritas. Davis hands it off to Martin. Up the gap and up the middle. Finds it. Has to get past one. Dragged down by the last man, Joey DeSabato, inside the 5.
That was a great tackle to save a touchdown, but once again, a lot of space for him to run.
And that's the guy you're going to go to right now, Jack Martin.
First and goal from the 8.
They go hurry up. They give it off to him again. Finds a gap up the left with speed and in. Oh, I was going to say in. They're going to call him inches short. And it's push time. If I believe you're the North Hills Indians, you're going to push this one into the end zone.
The Titans getting an extra defensive lineman in there trying to stop them on the goal line.
I think we're going to have a timeout from the Titans. They are going to take their first timeout, I believe. And the North Hills Indians are pumped up. They can go up 3 scores here within 14 minutes of play. This is big for the North Hills Indians.
And it's big for Shaler as well. You see how quickly things begin to unravel once you get down 3 scores. Getting a stop here could get the momentum in your favor, get some confidence into that defense, which has been beaten up so far the last 2 weeks and so far into this one.
For the Shaler Titans, you got to get it together if you want a chance at winning this game, nonetheless making a playoff attempt. It's surprising at a 4-2 team we're saying making a playoff attempt, but if you lose a second game, you still have to play Penn Hills and Pine Richland.
And you would have to beat them too, which those teams are even tougher than this one. So that's that much harder of a task.
Not just tougher, favorites.
Well, huge favorites probably at this point.
And for the Titans, they've got to hone it together. The North Hills Indians have 1 yard to go up 3 scores. They're going to have Dawson Toller in number 20 as a lead guy for Jack Martin. They're going to have a single man up top. Rayshad Temple, he'll be up there. Davis, he's going to hand it off to Martin. It was a bobbled handoff. Barnhart and London on the original tackle will bring him down. It'll be a loss of 1 or 2. So a 3rd and 1 or 2. It'll be a 3rd and 3, excuse me.
That's something you like to see. You've seen the defensive line has been backed up so much the last couple of games. Able to get around their offensive lineman and force him backwards. Going to make them work a little bit harder for this if they're going to try to score.
And I believe Shaler just took their 2nd timeout? Am I questioning myself on that one? I'm not sure. 10:07 remaining. And it's just I wouldn't say a questionable timeout call, but to use 2 on a back-to-back where the North Hills Indians still have 2 plays to score within 3 yards, it gives you no timeouts to go down and make some attempts at stopping the clock when you need scores.
Especially since you're already down 2 scores.
And it'll be a trip up to the top side of your screen. Davis is going to take the snap, hand it off to Martin, gets swamped immediately by Brandon London. Pierce was in there late, Lund was in there late, but Brandon London started the mess and brought down Martin. It'll be a 4th and 6 now. And this is big time. This can be big.
That was a great goal line stand by the Titans, driving them, not just stopping them from no game, driving them backwards.
And they'll go for a field goal.
Yeah, exactly. Now you
could see Pat Carey pull something off here. It'd be a gutsy one, but for the Titans, you can't have a penalty. It'll be up, and it'll be good. So 3 points, a good goal line stop, but still points for the North Hills Indians, putting them up 17-0. And for the Titans, it's not a sigh of relief, but it's a, all right, wasn't 7 moment.
Yeah, and when you're pinned that deep, it's a victory for the defense to be able to get a stop there. Force them to take 3. But now the offense has got to show something. They showed some stuff with that trick play, getting it down deep in the red zone. But a costly fumble by Razzo took away the chance for the Titans to score.
And again, it wasn't a 7-point swing, but still 3 points nonetheless for the Indians, adding on to that lead that they have. And they are as energetic as can be. And from the Titans, wouldn't say looking depleted, but still heads down already. I mean, you've still got pretty much a full 3 quarters of play. I know we're only at 9:30 here at Louis C. Mardig, but still, you have a lot of time to bring this one back. No need to put your head down.
Obviously, football is a physical game, but there's the mental component, too, that's so important, especially positions like quarterback and safety, where you've got to read whatever the defense and offense is doing. And you got to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? What's been working? What hasn't been working? And try to take a look from a player perspective and also a team perspective. You saw something in the trick play, perhaps. What else do the Titans have in that playbook that they got to throw out? Because you might as well throw the playbook out here now. No time, no waste trying to save it.
It'll be a short pooch. It'll roll to Signetti. He'll take it with speed, runs into his own man. And just not a good return there, running into his own man. Got to the 24.
Yeah, right into the back of Tapu there, and that's going to stop him quick.
He returns it to the 24-yard line.
Now the Titans take over with 9:26 remaining at their 24-yard line. Still a bunch of time in this half to put points on the board, obviously, barring that North Hills keeps going down and scoring.
And now you're behind. Not only does your offense have to score, your defense has to stop North Hills as well, which they were able to do the one time with the interception, but hasn't been seen often since.
What do the Titans draw up? They handed it to Brandon London up the middle. London
London, the ball
getting some
carrier.
handoffs now in the backfield, and an interesting call, but something we haven't seen in a while, a la Jake Miller from the 2019-20 season, where he was playing linebacker and running back for the Shaler Titans.
We talk about getting him involved. This is one way they can try to do that.
And another handoff to Brandon London. I guess if you want the freight train to get started, get him in the backfield, as he's got 8 yards now on 2 carries. It'll be 3rd and 3. Might actually be a 3rd and 4, excuse me. Oh, it'll be a 3rd and 1, excuse me. I am wrong on all sides right now.
It's one of those numbers. But yeah, this is the direct response for Razzo's fumble on the last drive.
And is this a play from Shaler where now they want North Hills to respect the run game and say, we're going to give it to Brandon London as long as you're going to give us the chance? And it will be a handoff to London. I think he got the first with the spot in the forward progress.
London, the ball carrier.
Waiting for the call, and I think he did get it. They're going to move the chains, and that's again from the Titans. Is that the play here, Matt?
Perhaps, and you see what London brings as opposed to Razzo. London just has the sheer mass that Razzo doesn't, and you can just get him some speed, give him some momentum. He can charge through, and you can't use him there all the time because he's such a big weapon at tight end. But something to keep North Hills thinking about.
Again, 6'3", 255. Schmatenka looking. It'll be his first pass on the drive. Now has to scramble. Still on his feet. Almost lost the ball. But he'll gain, I believe, 7 on the play. Got just to the 41.
All runs on this drive so far, and you like to establish a running game. They've done it now for sure, John.
And just with Keegan Schmatenka, I've just been seeing with his scrambles, he's got that one-arm hand, and he doesn't, I wouldn't say read the field as much when he scrambles, but he's got to be careful with defenders chasing him behind his back. So they're going to give it off to London, get some uphill speed, still on his feet. And when I say still on his feet, I mean still on his feet up until that very last moment.
You can see him fighting for every single yard he can, and he's done a good job of covering the ball up. He takes better care of the ball than you see Razzo likes to hold it a little higher. You pointed that out quite a few times.
I mean, I can't literally call him down because he's not down yet.
And you just see him just fighting, just
yeah, he's not down.
I
I can't call him down yet.
Just keep fighting, and they love to give you forward progress if you can stay on your feet, and now he sets up a good 3rd down and 1.
And with Brandon London, you just got to be careful on a 3rd and 1. Don't go for the reach if you don't have it. He goes to the right. Now he's got speed up the field, cuts back inside, and Brandon London showing some speed from the backfield, just short of the 45-yard line.
You've seen as a tight end, when he can find open space, he can take off and start rumbling down the field. And now if you put him back and running back, same thing applies. If he can get to that 2nd level, he's running through some guys.
This is now picking my brain because is this now what you commit to, the Brandon London run game? And by commit, I mean, is this what you stick to in terms of the run game? They're going to give it to him again. He'll get swamped immediately, still on his feet. Just dives across back to the original line of scrimmage. Jamar Allen got in there first.
It is so hard to take him down. I thought he was dead in the rights in the backfield, and he was able to reach across. Interesting decision. You know how easily that ball can be poked out and something like that. But
I will say, barring this play, having run him so many times, will North Hills maybe read out a pass here and expect it to happen after getting stopped at the line of scrimmage? And it will be a pass. Schmatanka gives a quick one, was going to Himrod, and through the hands. Would have been a gain of 7 on the play. And that's something you needed. A 3rd and 10 now for the Shaler Titans.
And it looked like Himrod wasn't quite ready to receive that pass. His hands were down on his sides, and when you're trying to reach the ball up high, just too quick. The ball was a little high, but that's right where a rebound is in basketball. You got to be able to pull that down.
And a 3rd and 10 again. Not in field goal range. Would be an NFL record if you did. Now Schmatanka has to feel the pressure, scramble on his feet, cut back inside, gets dragged down. It'll be a 4th and 5. Got dragged down by Joseph Lutz.
Interesting that London was still his running back, considering it would look like an obvious passing down, and you'd like to think you'd get someone else back there because you know how dangerous London can be in short yard situations like this.
And this is a nail-biting moment right now for the Shaler Titans on a 4th and 5, 5:10 remaining in this quarter and in the half. You get a first down, you can still go down and put some points on the board.
Shaler's got to figure it out. His clock's running down to 5 seconds. Now they got to call a timeout.
And that's the thing. They now have no more timeouts in this half. Any stoppage of play is going to have to come from a timeout or an out-of-bounds, or from a North Hills timeout or an out-of-bounds play. Or spiker and something like that. But if you want to put points on the board, not really going to spike the ball at any point.
Yeah, so now you got to take a look. They're going to commit to London as a running back. If they're going to switch his position, then you've got to take a look and look for something else. Look for a receiver, because you have his brother Zach London at the tight end, but he has nowhere near the experience that his older brother Brandon London has.
Again, who's going to open up for the Shaler Titans? DiSabato and Orga have been quiet since the first. They've got to open up and get something for the Shaler Titans. And for the Indians, they've been smooth as can be so far on this drive. Still, in my opinion, on the run game. Passing-wise, they've been very smooth.
Yeah, DiSabato has had a hard time getting open in this game. Coming up short, that cover 2 takes away that quick curl route on the far side.
And maybe they decide to throw a cross in there, open something up and cross the middle of the field as they put DiSabato in on the near side slot. It'll be a Titans shift, and it'll be a false start on the Titans. Excuse me, it was a North Hill shift, false start on the Titans.
Yeah, that's something they've been doing all game, and it's worked a couple of times, but you've got to realize you're on offense. You're calling the plays, and you've got to be paying attention, especially since you're the right guard. You've got to take a look and say, okay, ball's not snap, ball's not snap, ball's not snap. You can't be intimidated by what they're doing on the defensive side when you're just trying to get the snap off. And now with a good chance to get a first down, now you're forced to punt, and you're already down 3 scores.
And I believe North Hills is going to take a timeout, and they will. That'll be their second with 5:03 remaining, up 17. And now they can drop what they want to do here. I believe Mathis, who is returning this, will be at around his own 15-yard line near that area.
Interesting timeout in this situation. You're getting the ball back.
Could be a blocking scheme timeout.
Maybe, but this could be a big return for North Hills, but at the same time, time's not much of a factor. 5 minutes is plenty of time for you to get a drive down the field, so you want to make sure you don't take any penalties from the defensive side, or else you basically just give back that penalty the Titans gave you with the false start.
And against Woodland Hills last week, we saw 41 in the first quarter. Only 17 for the North Hills Indians in the half. Now 17 doesn't sound like a lot considering last quarter, but still a lot here in the first 2 quarters of play.
And even big number is 0. The Titans have nothing on the scoreboard yet.
It'll be a good snap. Douglas gets a very good boot under it. Will Troy Signetti find it? It'll be a Shaler roll. It can get inside the 5 if they stop it. And I think they're going to mark it down at the 1.
Douglas's punt.
They are going to mark it down at the 1-yard line.
Beautiful punt by Douglas, but that could have potentially been a touchback. The official spotted. I thought he rolled into the end zone.
John Sabin got there on the roll. He was down before he rolled in.
Yeah, good job getting the knee down, but it was one of those where you want to sort of get behind the ball so you don't have to worry about that. You saw they kind of just stood up and just like, this ball's going to come to a stop. But you know how weird that football bounces. You never know quite where it's going.
And a great follow by Saban to read it, as Signetti didn't originally see it. It was to his left side shoulder. He was looking right. Saban followed it up, got it, put him down at the 1. And North Hills not out of trouble here yet on the 1 yard line. Got to be careful on this play call.
This could be big if you could get a safety or some sort of turnover. The Titans know the importance of these next couple
Even a
plays.
stop. It'll go to Martin up the middle. It'll be a gain of 3 or 4.
Martin, the ball carrier.
And you'd love to see a 4 and out here from the Shaler Titans for the Indians. Even if you don't get a first down, burn as much clock as you can. Get to halftime. You get the ball in the second half. To start the second half, I should say. Tapu shows blitz. It'll be a bobbled snap. And the Titans, do they recover it for a touchdown? It'll be a safety. The Titans get it for a safety. Davis looked away for a half second on the snap, went through his hands, and the Titans fall on it for a safety.
Yeah, so I couldn't catch the number, but that was soccer style. Someone kicked the ball out of the end zone. It was a smart play because why risk trying to? I mean, it probably would have been a safety because the guy would have picked it up anyway. But luckily for the Indians, you get the points. You only give up 2 in that situation, but that is what an opportunistic defense can do for you. Get the 2 points, and now it's back to a 2-score game again.
And that starts from the Douglas punt.
Yeah, beautiful job by Douglas and the special teams. That safety goes credit to them, and give credit to the defense. Getting North Hills off their game, and that's the first mistake we've seen since that opening drive interception from North Hills.
And this can be a good return from the Titans. What you would say right here is hold on to that ball. Hold on to that ball. They're going to take it from around their 30, obviously, if a roll doesn't get past them or it doesn't go over their heads. So hold on to that ball, if I'm telling my guys, if I'm Jim Ryan. Because we can start from the 30-yard line for sure with 4:19 remaining. For the Indians, this one's tricky. You're kicking from your own 20-yard line. Dalton's got a great boot under him. And can he get past the returners, though? Hasn't kicked it Orga's way 1 time, twice to Signetti, once to DiSabato. It'll be a good boot. DiSabato's going to take this one in stride. From his own 30, gets pace, cuts left, gets past 1, gets on his feet still, and with forward progress, got to the 47-yard line. And we have a flag on the North Hills hash near the 45. I want to say we're going to have a holding on Shaler if it's that far up.
Yeah, usually that or a block in the back from where that flag is. It's rarely on the kicking team.
And again, cannot have that happen if this is on Shaler.
Well, let's take a look here.
We could be wrong. We haven't signaled to Jim Ryan. And it's going to be a block in the back on Shaler. And that DiSabato return all the way to the 46 now will go to the 37. Or 36, excuse me. 37.
So still good field position to start and drive.
You would have loved to have started from the 47, but the 37 is great, like you said, nonetheless.
Yeah, but we're trying to kind of making excuses here a little bit. But you're on 37, 4 minutes left. A lot of time here. You can get a good drive in, try to take off some time off the clock, or score fast, whatever you want to do. Titans need to find a way to score, put some points on offense.
It's a 4-man set. Brandon London in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him. He'll gain 3 on the carry.
London, the ball carrier.
And that's what you want if you're the Shaler Titans. 3 is okay on a first down.
And it definitely looks like they're going to stick to London in the backfield. Interesting. I haven't heard of this whatsoever. I'm sure Brandon would have told me something that they had this in the game plan. But the audible here, and he's had some success on the ground.
Shpatenka reading the field. He'll push London out in motion. Now looking left, has to scramble right, has to look for something. No one opens up, and was going to Caden Orga. Would have been a first and was behind him for an incompletion.
And you've seen him make that throw so many times, and that was just behind him. Orga didn't know what to do. Well,
and even with that, it's another holding on Shaler. It'll be their 8th or 9th penalty in the half. On pace for 18 penalties this game. So what would have been a 2nd and 7 becomes a 2nd and 17 from their 30.
2nd and 17.
Those are
for the
just
Titans
drive
from the 30.
stallers right there, those penalties, back to back, 10 yards back further than you would have been if you just didn't hold.
And you've now wasted a minute losing 7 yards. It'll be a pitch, flea flicker to Schmatenka. He has to create something, getting chased and throw it away. And the creativeness from the Shaler Titans sniffed out by the Indians.
Yeah, they were looking for Himrod on the far side was the primary read, and then you had plans going back, but everybody was covered. After the one-trick play earlier in the half, they were not fooled by that whatsoever.
And is it too much from the Shaler Titans now? You had something good going. Now a 3rd and 17.
And yeah, you got to try something. Your traditional passing game has not worked at all against this defense, which has pretty much stayed in cover 2 the entire game, with some exceptions when they've dropped into cover 4. But yeah, so far they've been locking up these Titans skill position players.
It'll be a scramble from Schmatenka. He's going to have to load, scramble, gets past one, spins, but he's going to lose a yard on the play. It'll be a 4th down and 18 and a punt from the Titans. And penalties are killer.
Yeah, and you saw there what would have been 2nd and 7. What was a 2nd and 7 after the penalty, and now they got to kick it away. This is really quick.
That was a quick punt. It'll be a good punt from Douglas. Gets past the 40. Great Shaler roll. I mean, Douglas is spotting it up well for the Shaler Titans. Puts that one inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And that would have gone even further if
we have
Shaler
a
didn't
flag
kicked it.
on the near side around the 20-yard line of Shaler, 30-yard line of Shaler.
Yeah, as I was trying to say earlier, they would have gone even further if they hadn't accidentally kicked it.
And it's going to be on Shaler.
Illegal substitution called on Shaler.
And moving too quick, got caught with an illegal substitution.
Penalty, and the down will be replayed.
And you just see this over and over and over again. The penalties keep coming, and you got to think, at what point do you start to think, are we doing things the right way, John? I mean, it's just been over and over again. All these penalties, all these silly penalties you keep taking, they add up.
And it'll go to Mathis inside his 50, now running up the right sideline with a lot of space. It'll be a flag on the play.
It looked like that's going to be a face mask on North Hills. But once again, you see the big swing in field positions. That would have been at near the Indians' own 20, and now they're likely going to be in Titan territory.
Again, that starts with 3 penalties on 1 offensive drive, all negative. You started from your own 47, was a penalty that brought you to the 37, and you ended up punting from the 25-yard line. It'll be on North Hills, though. You're right.
Yeah, they called the block in the back, not the face mask, but regardless, they're still in the Titans' half of the field, and that's 30 yards of field position, plus the 20 yards in penalties you had on the drive. So,
I mean, the Indians are starting from where that DeSabato return got to.
Yeah, so it's just you're just making it that much easier for a team that has so far practically dominated the game.
And you're making it so much harder for your guys that are playing both sides of the ball. And right now, a change of things for the Shaler Titans. They're going to go blitz. It'll be a handoff from North Hills. It'll be a gain of 1 and went to Dawson Toller. And what I just saw when I was saying a change of pace from Shaler, I believe it was Ben Yeckel who had a sort of slow running start from around the linebacker position. And he's going to try and do it again, still on his feet, not even lining up on the line. And I believe it'll be a false start on the Indians or an illegal motion. It'll be a false start.
Yeah, they had 2 guys in motion, and a 3rd guy went in motion. Everyone was moving around, and the Titans will gladly take that penalty.
It'll be a 2nd and 14, 2:10 remaining in this half. 17-0 in favor of the Indians. They need something big here. The Titans need to stop The Indians can run the ball out or go down and put more on the board. They're going to hand it out to Martin. He's got good speed, gets past a couple. The spot is going to bring him back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a flag. And I believe it's on the Titans. I say I believe it's on the Titans. At this point, it's going to be on the Titans.
It looked like I couldn't get the exact numbers, either Orga or London. I saw an 8. It was something after the whistle.
I believe it's London. He looks pretty upset.
I think he pushed him after the whistle, and that's what they're going to get him for unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct.
Personal foul. It'll be on London. And they're going to move the chains, and just a brutal, brutal penalty and lack of discipline again from a senior leader from Brandon London. You didn't expect it.
First and 10 North Hills from the Shaler 33.
I've got no words, John.
I do not either. First and 10 from the 33, a minute 35 remaining. They move Mathis in motion, and it'll be a backwards pitch. Bobbled. He has to get it off, floated up, and just underthrown right before Signetti. Now, obviously, that play was designed up to go to Stephen Murphy.
Yeah, and that could have been a complete disaster. He was luckily underthrew it that bad, or else that would have been picked.
I will say, the route that Mathis run did not do him much favors. Wrap around Davis, come back, catch the pitch, and throw it. It's a lot of ask, but an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. It'll be a 4-man set. Martin in the backfield. High snap. Davis loads across the field, has Mathis in stride, still on his feet, and across. Are they going to mark him a yard short again? They will. I thought he was across again off the forward progression. Signetti dragged him down just beforehand.
Yeah, and he hit the ground right before the end zone. Titans got to stop here last time, and they used a couple of timeouts. Not going to be able to do that this time.
You've got to make a goal line stand, and for the Indians, this is big. You can go up 4 scores. It'll be a dump off to Johnson and in for the touchdown. Big play from Logan Johnson, getting his first touchdown of the night. The TE who made such a big play last year against the Shaler Titans, the 6'1", 230 senior, obviously last year had that big completion that propelled things for a North Hills victory in that second quarter. Gets a touchdown tonight a year later.
And that was a great play call, because you've seen that what they've tried to do on the goal lines, they've tried to run. They try to punch it in so many times. And there, they're going to fake off the play action, just throw it right over the top.
I expected that last time they were in that position.
Yeah, they did that time, and now they got another touchdown.
And that chip is going to be good from Scarcella. He's been perfect on the night, and so have the Indians other than the safety. And the Titans need answers. The Indians won't give them any. And what can the Titans do here to turn things around? Because right now, I don't know if they do, or they know how to, excuse me.
And you feel sort of the confidence starting to dip, especially as this game goes on, and now you've got to think a minute left, and they might just, if they can't get a big play here, first couple of plays, they might just take this into halftime.
I mean, you can't force anything, have a turnover. That's what you saw against Franklin Regional in that first half. That blew things out of the water, was trying to force things, make something happen.
And you saw it too here in
Let it develop.
Yeah, Woodland Hills game last week too. You saw that it was interception, a couple more interceptions. I mean, and yeah, these past 2 games, Smetanka has thrown 6 interceptions.
And what can Dalton do here? Will they decide to squib it or make it a short little chip? And I presume they're not even going to put it close to DiSabato or Orga. They're going to keep it close to Signetti. Slow run up. It'll be a squib. It'll actually go to Orga. Nope. It'll be just falling on, just in front of the 35 yard line, excuse me. Peterson on that one. Just fell on it. No need to risk it. Now with 59 seconds, down 22 points, heading into half. The Titans will kick off to start the second half. The Indians will receive, and just bad news upon bad news if you're the Shaler Titans.
So yeah, 3-score game, and now you'd like to think you could get something before half, but it's really tough given you have no timeouts and only 59 seconds on the clock.
Now Razzo back in. He'll get the handoff. Was a little hop, got to the 30. It'll be a gain of 3 and a 2nd and 7. Clock rolling, no timeouts.
It's good to see Razo get a chance again because you've got to have your playmakers in their best positions. And although it was fun to see London in the backfield, he's more valuable to this team as a tight end.
And they're going to give it off to Razo again, cutting back inside, but gets dragged down after around a gain of 2. It was a great chase, great tackle. Brett Fonzie was in on that one. Everybody making plays right now for the North Hills Indians. And that's how it is for them right now, just creativity and just cohesiveness as a team, which is what I believe the Titans need right now. As we hit under 10, maybe one more play from the Titans. It'll be a snap. They'll hand it off to Razo. It'll be up the middle. It'll be a first down. It'll run out the clock. And we will head into halftime with the North Hills Indians leading 24-2 over the Shaler area Titans. Join us for second half coverage of tonight's game after performances from the bands here at Shaler area.
As we welcome the 2023 Shaler area varsity baseball team. The Titans finished the season with a record of 23-4. They rolled through section play, claiming the Whitfield 5A Section 3 title with a final 2-game sweep over North Hills by a combined score of 21-0. The Titans then defeated Gateway, Plum, and Bethel Park 10-1 in the final game to claim the program's 5th Whitfield title in front of a packed house at Wild Thing Stadium. In the PIAA playoffs, the Titans defeated Muhlenberg, Penn Trafford, and Monsignor Barnegat to earn a spot in the state finals, where they came from behind in dramatic fashion on Connor Hamrick's walk-off single against Strathaven to win the PIAA 5A title. Joining the Titans on the field is 1991 Shaler graduate and Hall of Famer Jason Rakers. Jason is one of the 2 Shaler alumni to play Major League Baseball, pitching for the Cleveland Indians and Kansas City Royals from '98 through 2000. He will be presenting the players with their 2023 championship ring. And now here are the members of the state title baseball team. Number 10, Ben Yeckel. Number 14, Caleb Jockel. Number 7, Joe Rispoli. Number 5, Troy Lees. Number 11, Max Sabin. Number 16, Luke Jarzinka. Number 17, Colby McGuire. Number 21, Landon Schiffauer. Number 24, Logan Bauer. Number 25, Colby Weber. Number 33, Dante DeLeonibus. Number 3, Dom Twig. Number 8, Brady Alexander. Number 12, Alex Venesia. Number 15, Elijah Muckle. Number 19, Brady McGuire. Number 20, Maddox Orga. Number 23, Chase Barron. Number 1, Miguel Hugas. Number 2, Tristan Holland. Number 6, Connor Hamrick. Number 5, Derek Lees. Coaches, Brian Junker. Assistants, Ben Yeckel, Tom Graleski, Dean Missesso, Alex Ficarelli, trainer Aaron Seiner, and media Ross and Santa. How about one more round of applause for your 2023 PIAA 5A State Baseball Champions, your Shaler Area Titans.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming the pride of Shaler area, our award-winning Titan Marching Band. Tonight, we bring the bright lights of Broadway to the field. This famous street spans the length of Manhattan and houses 41 professional theaters in a city that never sleeps. Wicked has been dancing through life and defying gravity since 2003. We feature our auxiliaries with classic ABBA hits, I Have a Dream and Mamma Mia from the jukebox musical Mamma Mia. Our curtain closes with One Day More, an iconic song from 8-time Tony Award-winning musical Les Miserables, featuring soloists Owen Yarna, Josh Offen, Eddie Schmidt, Michael Ulrey, and Donnie Gill. Assistant Directors Kristen Tepsich, Kelly West, and Ryan Kinsler. Field Tech Michael Labella. Dance Team sponsor Amanda Vigilati. Majorette sponsor Alyssa Ryan. Color Guard sponsor Becky Butler. Pin Tech Casey Berg. And Drumline sponsor John West. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Sophia Hayes and Kara Yarnott. Dance Team captains Elena Flavin and Ali Polziani. Drumline captains Connor Smith and Elise Williams. The band thanks you for your kind attention this evening. We would also like to thank our band boosters for all of their hard work and dedication. Please visit the SABPA concession stand on the scoreboard side of the stadium.
And welcome back up into the booth for second half coverage of tonight's game here in Shaler area at Lewis C. Martic Stadium. Hopefully you enjoyed the performances from the band as usual. And tonight, again, we continue here with the Indians leading 24-2 over the Titans. Quick recap. Let's make it short. What did you see in that first half, Matt, that led to this score?
I saw a lot of turnovers, John. I saw 3. I saw 2 interceptions. I saw 1 fumble, and you really want to talk about that, don't you, John?
I do a little bit because it's not just for me a personal grudge or anything, but it cannot be the same story over and over if you're the Shaler Titans, because every time you've given up the ball on a turnover, the Indians have gone down and scored, which is 3 times.
And on top of that, it's been the penalties, too. You said 9 penalties, just going back through, I think you're right, 9 penalties in the neighborhood of 85 yards. It's just, those are just make it so much easier for your opponent to succeed and that much harder for you to win. And these things just keep adding up as we get in the second half.
And Douglas is going to get this one a squib. It'll be dropped and picked up. Went through the legs and eventually picked up by Israel Armstead. And now the Indians will take over in front of their 30.
Yeah, another cool thing during halftime is the baseball team, the 2023 5A state champion baseball team got their rings, and it's
not just state, Whippeal champion too.
Whippeal champions too, and that's so impressive. First time since 1980.
5-time champions. Whippeal champion, excuse me.
So very impressive for them. And that was a great run. All 3 of those sports teams making it to the state finals, but especially for the baseball team, them winning the Whippeal and state title.
As impressive as can be. And now Davis loading right, has to get it off. It's tipped. Carson Pierce, first time I've really called his name tonight, bats that one away, was looking for Logan Johnson.
Yeah, although you haven't called his name often, he has been around trying to make some plays. You can tell he's not quite at 100%, but he's sure giving it his 100% on the field.
Absolutely, and again, for a guy like Carson Pierce, who's been out for so many monumental games, so many games that he's wanted to play in his senior season, he's going to want to make the most of an impact tonight. They're going to give it to Jack Martin up the right side, gets past the initial tackler, still on his feet. It was Carson Pierce was the initial guy to get in there. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, a 3rd and 8.
And that was a good job of forcing Martin to, hitting Martin immediately and forcing him to the right to the point where you had 3-4 guys on him, and he wasn't going to get loose of that many guys and pick up any more yardage.
And a little bit of confusion from the Titans defense. Titans show blitz on that far side. The entire offensive core is going to look over except the linemen. They are as stationary as can be. Davis, high snap, pumps, gives it across. It'll be a first, it might be actually a yard short. I believe it was over to Janelle Edison on the throw. And they are going to give him the spot and move the chains. Yeah, he got the first.
Lawrence had a great block on that play, number 14, and he timed it perfectly. As soon as he caught the ball, he started blocking, and that was able to set up the screen pass and get a first down.
And now they're going to hand off to Martin again, trying to bounce out the left side. He'll get a quick dive, but I think he actually lost a yard on that one. I thought he gained a yard.
I've seen the last couple of runs, Martin's been trying to go out to the right, trying to bounce it outside, but he's had nowhere to go.
That north to south up the middle has worked so well from him. Maybe just trying to open up some field position in the middle for a throw, maybe to a guy like Logan Johnson. Titans show blitz. Davis pumps, loads right, has a man on the comeback route. It's Edison, and is dragged down just after the 50-yard line. Edison getting a lot of receptions here now to start the second half.
Tackled by Signetti.
Yeah, it looks like on that far side they weren't playing to the sticks. They were trying to prevent the touchdown deep, and when you do that, it gives the comeback curl route some room to get open.
And now a high snap again. It'll again be a quick pitch, and this is working so well for the Indians as Edison again, his third reception on the drive is going to be a gain of 7 or 8. And this has just worked so well for the Indians so far tonight. And into the second half, it's just that quick pitch out. But you can't forget about the bottom of the field right now as Julius Green is on a one-on-one zone covered situation with Caden Orga. And Davis might look his way on this one. It'll be a handoff to Martin. Up the gut. They're going to spot him just short a yard. Got dragged down by the jersey. I believe it was Battaglia who got him down in the end there. So it'll be a 3rd and 1.
On this drive, the Titans have done a good job of limiting the run game, but they've kind of gotten exposed a little bit on the outside in the passing game. Now, interesting on a 3rd down and 1, typically a running situation for North Hills in the past. Let's see if they continue with that or go to the air.
Now an audible call from Davis. 15 seconds on the play clock. And the Titans jumped off sides. They got him. And it's as easy as that for the North Hills Indians, where the Titans make as many penalties as they give them. And that'll be the 10th one on the night.
And they're just so excited to get off. Like, yeah, we got to stop him here. 3rd down and 1, big play. But
I mean, it was about 6 Titans that jumped off sides.
Yeah, but once you get the one going, everyone's going, you got to throw the flag for sure. And it's just good job getting the hard count to get them there.
And now Davis, shotgun set. It'll be a fake pitch. Has to load deep. Across the middle of the field, it'll be a floater. Almost one-handed interception again. Joey DiSabato. He's obviously a little frustrated he didn't get that one. Was looking, I believe, for Edison in stride. It was a little bit of a ducky throw. Just overthrown.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he saw down there. Obviously wanted to go for it all, but in a situation like this where you got a 3-score lead and you try to want to work down the clock a little bit, that was a high risk, high reward, and it was so close to an interception. Got the one hand on it, couldn't quite haul it in. Was
not a bad idea. You just don't want to give any free rewards to the Titans. It'll be a quick pitch off, and it'll be just short. It'll be a 3rd and 2 situation, the pass to Temple. And like you said, it was high risk, high reward, but again, up 3 scores. I mean, it's not a bad look nonetheless, but against a guy like Joey DiSabato, who's already got a pick on you so far tonight, you don't want to give him a chance to maybe come back into this one. It'll be a 3rd and 2 from the 27. And you'd think the Titans might lay off a little, try not to jump off sides. It'll be a give to Martin. He'll get stuffed immediately, but still on his feet now. Carson Pierce got in there. It would have been a loss of 2 yards. Didn't drag him down. Now a flag on the play. Titans are signaling against North Hills. Maybe a little bit of after-play theatrics.
Yeah, about 9 times out of 10, Pierce is able to make that tackle, and gotta give credit there as Martin was just persevering through all of that, just keeping the legs going.
Jack Martin, 5'11", 180. On the numbers standpoint, you don't see that as a running back and say that's a guy who's going to go north to south, run guys over. But he has just been so phenomenal tonight, doing the exact opposite of that and running guys over. And I was figuring out what the flag was on. It was after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. It'll be against the Indians, so a little bit of a gift now to the Titans. So it would have been a first from around the 20-yard line. It'll now be a first from the 36. So pretty much just move the chains back after a reset of downs on the 1st down. And now a 4-man set. Dawson Towler in the backfield to the left of Davis. It'll be a snap off to Towler. Gets a great read off the edge. Ball popped out. Towler does not have it. It's Titan ball. Titans fouled on it. Towler on his first carry in the backfield fumbles the ball looking for the outside edge, and the Titans got on it immediately. And that's the break you need if you're the Titans.
Yeah, did he catch the number who had? It looked like London.
It looked London was in there. Again, it was a big mess. I just saw that Towler was on top, and if the ball carrier doesn't have it, most likely the defense would.
And good job just to punch it out, and that's what you need. Get that turnover, get that stop.
Now you start from the 35-yard line.
Yeah, thanks to that unsportsmanlike conduct too. Now you see, now your side's all right. We can see how bad penalties can do. now you get one to go in our favor.
It's a close man set. It'll be a handoff to London. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe loses a yard actually. I think he does.
London, the ball carrier.
And again, that's such a close set situation. No one was at the bottom of the field.
Loses
Nothing really opens up.
2nd and 11 from the 35.
So a 2nd and 11, and for the Titans, this is a gift. You have to use this. And again, your eyes have to light up right now and say, we just got handed a gift on an opening drive situation to go down and make this thing a 2-score game if we can go and score. And the same 2-man set at the top. DiSabato and plans. It'll be a Keegan Schmatenka keeper, and he'll only get back to the original spot. And a 3rd and 11, and the Keegan Schmatenka keeper now.
Carey first in on that tackle.
Yeah, they're trying to mix it up a little bit. You got London, who's a decent blocker, but I don't think anyone on that North Hills defense was fooled.
I mean, if you're North Hills, yeah, and now you might expect, all right, they just ran it twice, they've lost, and just got back to the original spot. Expect throw here.
And now, yeah, you're definitely expecting throw for sure.
Titans need to create something. It'll be a scramble. Schmatenka's going to have to throw it across. Has DiSabato. Does he get the spot? They're going to mark him a yard short.
Schmatenka's pass complete to DiSabato.
It'll be a 4th and 1. On the scramble, Schmatenka found DiSabato, and the Titans are going to go for it. You kind of have to in this situation. 6:30 remaining. The clock stopped.
And you finally got to see that crossing route we were talking about during halftime. DiSabato started on the left and made an in-cut and ran all the way over, and eventually Schmatenka found him. Now, big 4th down and 1 here for this Titans offense.
You've got to get it. Does Brandon London get the call? He does. And he's going to lose 2. It'll be a turnover on downs, and the Indians take over.
Stop short of the 1st down marker.
They don't decide to do a quarterback keep and push. They give it to London. He loses 2, and the Indians take over. And a minute and a half off the clock on that Titans offensive drive.
And they didn't try to do anything fancy. A lot of times you see on 4th down, you see the hard count. You get something to get them off balance, maybe try to get them to jump offside. And they just ran a basic halfback carry. And Martinez trying to rush the passer and get into the backfield. That was pretty easy for the North Hills defense.
And I agree with you 100%. You've got to create something, and you can't take those types of fumble gifts or any sort of turnover for granted. That's the first turnover you've gotten tonight. It'll be a handoff to Martin. He looks for some downhill speed like he's had all night. He'll be a gain of 4 on the play. And the first thing Jack Martin does, which I love so much as a running back, is the first thing he does is it's read the field and head down, go for it. I mean, that's you got to love it, regardless of both sides.
Yeah, he's taking a look, and he's had some good runs here, but as of late, the Titans have done a good job stopping. That's the best gain he's had in a while.
Titans show blitz. They don't. Brandon London reads it and drags Martin back. It'll be a gain of 2 or 3 to make it a 3rd and 3, I believe. Again, this has just been tough, gritty football from the North Hills Indians that has propelled them into this 22-point lead that they have over the Titans. And the Titans, again, just flatlining heading into the late quarters here.
Yeah, now, even though we got a 3rd down here, 3rd down to meet him, if you can force them backwards, get a sack, loss of yardage, you can force a punt here, which would be great. Now, if they get close, they're likely to go for it, considering the spot on the field.
It'll be a 3rd and 4. It'll be a give to Martin looking up the right side, gets stuffed, tries to create yardage after. He gets back to the original line, I believe, for a 4th and 3 or 4. I think they gave him a yard. So 4th and 3. Convert here. The drive continues. We're under 5 minutes now in the 3rd. A quick quarter this has been.
It has a lot of runs by both teams. This game quarter's gone quick, exactly the way that North Hills has wanted to. Once again, another big 4th down.
Now Davis letting his own line know he could go hard count here and get them to jump. It would be a 1st down if they do. And they show blitz. He sniffed it out, gets the audible. 5 seconds remaining on the play clock. And North Hills are going to have to take a timeout. They sniffed out the blitz, but it wasn't in time. They'll take their first timeout of the half with 4:26 remaining.
First timeout of the half.
and just smart.
Yeah, well, you don't like to take a timeout there, but they were like, oh, we aren't going to get the playoff. And they did see what the Titans were going to try to do, which is interesting. If you're North Hills, do you switch up the call? Now the Titans, after seeing that they guess you're going to blitz, do you keep blitzing? Do you try another play? 4th down and 3, big play if you can get the ball back. And you'd have to think that if they could get the ball back, there's still some hope. You're only down 3 scores. There's still enough time. But eventually, once you get in the 4th quarter, that 3-score lead starts to seem insurmountable.
And you say there's enough time. There more than enough is, obviously. 16 minutes of play remaining in the entire game. But at some point, you got to say, you've got to hit the gas at some point.
Yeah, at some point, you got to score.
You can't be sitting in the idle mode. You got to hit the gas, press on it, and go. That's what the Indians are doing. 4th and 3. Davis takes the snap high. Looking for a quick pitch. It'll be Lund on the chase, and Ben Yeckel gets in there after that and brings him down for a sack and a turnover on downs.
Davis is sacked on the play.
Big play from the Shaler Titans. Big sack from Ben Yeckel. Lund was the original man to get in there, create some pressure. Yeckel finished the job.
It looks like North Hills went to the well one too many times. They've loved that screen pass, and when a situation 4th and short, you know they're going to be sending pressure. And when you can't get the ball off immediately, you saw the panic in his eyes as he tried to find a secondary target, but he's going to take a loss, and the Titans will say thank you very much.
And the same 2-man set now for the Titans. They haven't switched things up. It'll be a handoff to Razzo, up the gut, gets a good spin. Is tackled by Taller, but not after a gain of 8. And that's what Nate Razzo needs, is a little bit of a kickstart. He needs something to get his game going. And again, you talked about the mental side of this game earlier, right? You had a fumble earlier around the 5-yard line, or around the 10-yard line, in a scoring position. And now he gets back in the game and gets a gain of 8. And I think it'll be a Titan timeout.
Officials timeout.
Oh, it'll be officials timeout, excuse me. And they're going to restart it. Now 4 minutes remaining. It'll be a 2nd and 2 from the 50. Titans down 22, needs something. The shift from North Hills. And I believe it's going to be an offsides on North Hills. And it is. So the shift that got the Titans to jump now actually goes against North Hills.
Yeah, that was successful a couple of times getting the Titans a false start, but when you did that, the guy sort of lost his balance and then broke into the neutral zone. And
it's a tough ask when you're in a 3-point stance to shift over around 2 yards and maybe sometimes across a guy.
Yeah, but most of the time that works. It didn't that time. Backfired and the Titans got a first down.
It'll be 3:40 remaining. 1st and 10 from the 45. They do the same shift. It'll go to Razzo. He bounces off a man, gets a great gain, gets 5 yards. And that was close to a loss of 3. Razzo evaded a tackler and got a first down. It was Ryan Carey on the initial tackle.
And that's what he has to offer as compared to someone like Brandon London, is that quick burst of speed and change of direction. If that's London, he might be able to get through the first tackler, but eventually he'd be stood up. So glad to see Razzo trying to get some confidence back after being subbed out earlier in the game.
And now a wide 2-man twin set to the bottom of the screen. They give it off to Razzo up the gut. And they're going to give him the first down, I think. So now Razzo making some things happen for the Titans, pressing the gas. It'll be a 3rd and 1, actually, just short.
Gain of 4 on the play. 3rd and 1 for the Titans from the 36.
Clock still rolling, 2:40 remaining. If the Titans can score here before the end of the quarter, they'd still have 12 minutes to bring it back around 15 points. And they show blitz. They do blitz. They bring the house down, and they bring down the runner. I believe it was Nate Razzo on the carry. And it was Nate Razzo, and what was a 3rd and 1 got sniffed out. And now I believe it's a 4th and 2 or 3. It'll be a 4th and 2. 2:08 remaining. And this is big. This can maybe decide the game if you're the Shaler Titans.
Yeah, you saw on that third down, they brought everyone up. Everyone was within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Taller flew in from the near side.
Yeah, and when you see that pressure, it might be time to get an audible or something, because they were met immediately in the backfield.
And I think we're going to have a Titan timeout again. And the first timeout, sorry. Timeout again. Titans first of the half, 1:49 remaining. And I think that's a smart time to call it, because now at the 37-yard line, you can talk things over on a 4th and 2 situation. And again, now here's the play, though, from the Shaler Titans. What do you do? Do you stick to your guns? Do you stick to what you've been doing? Do you throw Brandon London in? Or do you have to pull a trick up your sleeve like you did earlier with the flea flicker?
So, 4th down, you want it to be quick, because if you play like a flea flicker, it takes such a long time to develop, and
you know there's going to be pressure.
There's going to be pressure immediately. So what they have not done on this drive really is throw the ball. Now, 4th down and 2, running the ball is certainly not out of the question. However, you've been stopped on the last play, and if you try to come out in that same look again, maybe you could do a little fake. You could fake the run, maybe set up a quick play action read, RPO sort of thing, and try to find a quick pass over the middle or find something out to the side, because you haven't shown pass recently, and maybe it might just be the time for you to go to that.
And do the Titans decide to hard count, and will the Indians stay disciplined if they do?
You got to try to throw them off as well. Great point.
And offsides would be an immediate first down. The clock is still stopped, so it'd still be 1:49. Both Londons now shift to the top. One could break off, one could be a runner. They move Razzo in motion. It'll be a low snap. Schmitenka looking, feels the pressure. It'll be a dump off, open to Caden Orga. It'll be a first down, creating something still on his feet, and gets to the 20-yard line. And that's the connection that Keegan Schmitenka has needed all night.
That was a great route by Orga. Was able to get around, looking as like, okay, trying to find the gap in the zone. They went to that cover 2 again, and they went up, and he went and found the open gap, and it was like practically waving his arms. I was like, I'm open.
And again,
they did a great job of finding him.
Yeah, and inside the numbers, like we talked about, that's what the Shaler Titans needed to use. And now a 2-man set again. It'll be a shift, low snap, given to Razzo, given some space now on his feet and yards after the initial tackle, and a first down for Nate Razzo inside the 10, and the Titans are starting to get a little bit of speed.
Tackle by Murphy.
And he's a little slow to get up, but that was some great blocking on that play that really sprung Razzo loose. And when you can get those blocks, Razzo's got some speed, and whenever he can get going, you got to watch out. That was a tackle that likely saved a touchdown, although there was another guy back. 13 yards and a Titan first down.
It'll be on the right hash, a lot of room on that left side of the field, towards the Indian sideline. Schmitenka, he'll take a snap. It'll be a handoff to Razzo. He's going to slip, though. Tried to make a cutback and slipped backwards.
Yeah, he ran to his own lineman, and he wasn't quite expecting that. Looks like it was a miscommunication there on the blocking scheme, and he's going to come out as Tapu will come back in.
And Shaler's going to have to get off one play. Play clock is 1 second ahead of the game clock. 22 on the play clock right now. Now counting. 15 now on the play clock. They've got to get something going. You don't want to take a penalty here, regardless of what it is. 7 seconds and counting. They're going to have to get it off. 5. Schmitenka gets the snap, fakes at the top, who feels the pressure, has to scramble, has a man open. Brandon London. He'll dive out of bounds to stop the clock. It hit zeros nonetheless. It'll make it a 3rd and 4, I believe, and we're going to switch sides of the field as the third quarter has ended here at Louis C. Mardig, with the Indians still leading 24-2.
North Hills 24, Shaler Area 2.
And welcome back for 4th quarter coverage of tonight's game at Louis C. Mardig, as the Titans are looking to make a goal line, or excuse me, the Indians looking to make a goal line stop around the 4-yard line. And the Titans look to put points on the board here. A 3rd and 4 from the 4, down 22. Tapu's in there to the left of Schmitenka. There's a blitz from the top side. They're going to hand it off to Tapu. He's going to lose a bunch and get thrown. What a play. Jamar Allen the whole way.
Tapu, the ball
It'll be a big loss of yards.
And it looked like with the run, they were trying to get closer, try to set up a closer 4th down and goal, but now as you're going back, it makes it even more difficult.
4th and goal.
And now it's a 4th and 8. 11:35 in the 4th quarter. And this clock's going to run, and that's going to be your enemy more than the Indians are right now. That clock is going to hurt. They move a man in motion. It'll be DeSabato. Schmitenka's going to roll. There'll be a lot of crowd over there. Has to dump it high across. Had London. It's going to be an incomplete pass and out of bounds. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. The Indians take over at the 8.
The Titans turn it over on downs.
And again, 3 receivers in the same area on that side of the field.
They were trying to get Schmitenka to run out near the line of scrimmage. He was driven back. And when that happens, he would have had to make a perfect throw to London. We'd be singing his praises if he was able to make that. Just out of his reach, and now you give the ball back to the Indians, who are going to try to look to take the clock out of this game and try to come out here with a victory.
They can come out of here with a victory. They will be in a prime spot to make things happen for themselves later on in the season. They've got a decently tough schedule ahead. Seneca Valley 6A, Franklin Regional, a team that blew Shaler out of the water 2 weeks ago, and then Pine Richland to close out their conference play. And that's about as tough as you, again, this season for the North Hills Indians has been tough, if I could describe it. And on that run, got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 2nd and 10.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
And the Indians are just going to use out the clock. Again, having Jack Martin run the ball, you'll get yards and you're going to waste the clock. I mean, what more could you want? And the Titans need to stop. They show blitz. It'll be a give to Martin. He stays on his feet. He's tackled eventually. Winters was in on the initial tackle.
The ball carrier. The first 5.
And now 10:30 remaining. Clock continues to count. 3rd and 5 now for the Indians. Not out of the water just yet.
3rd and 5 from the 13.
Not out of it by any means. Anything can happen at this point of the game.
Titans looking to go man here with some help over the top. You see 3 receivers to the near side, but that one on the far side draws some attention too, since he's all by his own.
And now it'll be a backside blitz. It's a pitch off, though, to Martin. He'll get the first and move the chains, and it was as simple as that from the Indians. I mean, bread and butter right now for them. I know I say it a lot, but, I mean, that's as simple as it gets. Just a clean RPO.
And yeah, when you're trying to stack the field out to the right side, something like that, usually it means an opposite pass.
And they're going to give it off again. And Martin right now, I mean, we talk about prime rushers. I mean, think about the rushers that the Titans have had to face this year. I mean, you've seen guys, right, Kyle DePill from Franklin Regional. You had Nick Odom from Plum. Martin tonight. You're going to see guys, honestly, he's not a runner technically. He's the quarterback, but Julian Duggar next week for the Shaler Titans is going to be tough again. Or I believe 2 weeks, Penn Hills.
Yeah, they did a great job with misdirection with using him tonight.
And now it's not Martin with the take. We, I believe it was 28. Michael Waters might have been on that one.
Now 3rd down and medium again. You saw what they did last time. They're coming out in the exact same look.
And again, a lot of wide receivers at the bottom of the side. It'll be a throw across to Johnson. He got there. It'll be a flag on the play. Big high looping flag there from the ref.
It's amazing how he was able to hold on that ball. He took a hit immediately after he caught it. Great hands.
Again, Johnson, in my opinion, one of the more underrated guys on the North Hills squad. Doesn't really get his name called a lot, but when he does, he makes such a good job of doing what he does, the 6'1", 230 senior.
Yeah, but it's all for naught as the lineman got too far down the field, and that's going to back him up now for a third down.
He's a little too excited getting past his guy. And now what would have been a first down brings it back to a 3rd and 9 situation, more manageable for the Titans to defend. But with these Indians, how they've been playing, anything's possible.
From their own 21.
They move Johnson over the top, bring Mathis down to the bottom. Stephen Murphy's in on a 1-on-1 with Troy Signetti. And now Davis, shotgun set, takes the snap, he pumps it, loads, feels the pressure, goes and scrambles, gets it off, and Johnson, goodness me, a drive-saving catch, and a catch that's going to put the Indians into the 35-yard line. And I mean, if that doesn't exemplify the Indians tonight, I don't know what else does.
Yeah, everything has gone their way. They figured it out. And tip drill, really, I don't know how he caught that.
He did it last year.
Did a great job of keeping his feet in bounds, too, on that sideline. Just the near official was saying, yeah, he was in.
Now they're going to hand it off to Martin. Downhill speed, up the middle of the field. Gets past the 50, first down, and Jack Martin's making a mess of the Shaler Titans as he has all night. It's going to be a Shaler Titan down on the field, though. It'll be Barnhart, and we'll take an injury timeout for him. Injury timeout. Barnhart was able to walk off on his own power. Good to see him get off the field. One of those defensive linemen for the Shaler Titans. He's been out there all night. And now the Indians take over. It'll be a pump fake handoff, loaded deep, has Mathis, but overthrew him. There was 2 men in coverage on Mathis. Could have had him in stride and just missed him by about 6 yards.
2nd and 10 from the 48.
Again, that Mathis connection is dangerous when he's downfield.
Yeah, that was decent.
The 2023 Softball Slow Pitch League, and you're watching SATV!
2. And welcome back after the injury timeout with 1:37 remaining. Pierce was able to walk off his own power. Looked more maybe like an abdomen injury around that area. So it's good to see he's able to come off after the grueling and tough watch he's had to see from the sidelines being out since Hampton.
Yeah, and you could tell he really wanted to play, and we talked about in the pregame that they would platoon him a little bit. And that has not been the case. He has been there, I'd say, at least 80% of the snaps. So he's your best player on defense, but at the same time now, especially with the score getting out of hand late, interesting call to keep him in there.
And 31-2 in favor of North Hills, and just not what you expected here tonight.
Yeah, the offense has just not been there. The defense did a good job in the second half of limiting them until minute 37 left to go in the game. But it's just been, the offense has scored now 21 points in 3 games. You got the safety there from your defense. Right now you're being shut out offensively, and it's just been a complete disaster. Give credit to North Hills. They've really done a great job of stifling Shaler's offense, and now you'll probably see that cover 2 look again. So I think you got to figure out I think you know what the Titans are going to do in practice this week.
I think it's not just that. It's you need something. You have to win out the rest of your season if you want a chance at playoffs. A chance. Only 8 teams make it in 5A, I believe we talked. It's the least amount in any conference that make playoffs. It went originally, I believe, from 12 down to 8. So there's no more buys in 5A as the squib from Dalton is going to go to Signetti. He'll pick it up. Gets a block from Tapu. It'll be just short of the 30. But again, you have to win out because you've had impressive wins across the board, but I would say not impressive losses, because an impressive loss is if you kept it close. Blowouts are not impressive.
Yeah, no, and you talk about the amount of hype this team's been getting, and you have to wonder how much of that gets them a little bit.
Not even that. I wouldn't even say the hype. Was the game plan, let's win every game we can, and when we get to our games that are vital, are we going to continue to play the same way?
Yeah, and so far that has not been the case through these first 2 conference games.
It'll be a 5-man set. pretty much Hail Marys across the board. Shapatenka's going to have to roll and load. And Orga's going to have to create something. Still on his feet, down the sideline now. Stays on his feet, one man to beat with speed. Still on his feet and in for a Titan touchdown. The first scoring play for the Shaler Titans on offense comes with 1:18 remaining in the fourth.
Great work on the sideline there, and glad to see his number. He's been trying all game to get open, gets the ball and just yard after catch. You're not going to tackle him. Great job on the sideline, and that speed, you mentioned that speed, able to create separation, and unfortunately for the Titans, too little, too late.
Yeah, it's again, you would have loved to have seen that on your first 3 quarters and 11 minutes of the fourth. Nonetheless, good to see Caden Orga get what I think he's deserved, because he has been running around like a madman all night, as Douglas's kick is going to go under the bar.
The extra point attempt is no
and it
good.
leaves it at 8 with 1:18 remaining.
Shaler area 8.
And now you would expect North Hills on this kickoff to just run this thing out, get across to the other side of Babcock Boulevard, and go into tomorrow morning with a W under your belt and go 2-2 in conference, sending the Titans to 0-2.
And that missed extra point has been a microcosm of the game. It's just another frustrating moment that you got to think from the coaching staff. It's just been poor execution. It's been penalties. It's been turnovers. It's been all of the above.
It's almost like when you have the worst things that you can do in football. Penalties, turnovers, unsportsmanlike conducts, frustration, put it in a pot. Somehow the Titans have been able to stir that pot too much.
Yeah, they've really been testing Murphy's Law for sure.
I like that. That was a good one, actually. That made me think a little.
You'll think a little bit?
For my little dumb little excuses I'll have, that was a good one. And the Titans are going to go for an onside kick here. Douglas is going to get a good roll. It'll be touched. Can the Titans fall on it? There's a bunch of people in on that. Did the Titans get it, though?
Onside kick.
It's Titan ball. The Titans got an onside return, kickoff return, and they got it.
Got the onside kick, and that's the one thing you can say about this team. There is no quit. They will keep fighting till the very end, minute 13. Got a long way to go, but you'd like to see the fight in this team.
At the end of the day, the fight and the momentum is what matters in these types of games. Of course, you're going to take the loss, but you don't play an easier team at all next week. You play a team that was number 1 in 5A and was a top 10 team in the WPIAL 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's good. You see the no quit here and Shapatenka got a touchdown pass the next play. Let's see what he does here.
He's going to have to load and scramble again. It's going to be the same play. Can Caden Orga create it again? Pushes Edison over up the sideline. Got dragged down out of bounds.
I'm surprised that wasn't a flag. I thought he was clearly out of bounds, and he got tackled.
I think it was just close to call.
I've seen that called so many times, though.
You have seen it called so many times, again, especially with player safety, and that's just being the most important thing, especially with an ankle tackle out of bounds.
Yeah, and he was clearly going out of bounds. He was letting up. The defender did. I don't know.
Just happy to see no injury after that play.
Especially at this point of the game. You saw Carson Pierce go down at the end of that last drive.
And now Shapatenka on the right hash in the shotgun. Low snap, has to look left. Pressure from the back, has to feel it. Dumps it across. DiSabato, it's an incomplete pass, but a flag on the play.
Shapatenka's pass, incomplete, intended for DiSabato.
It was for DiSabato. He was trying to create something on a wraparound route. Didn't get what he wanted. And I believe there's going to be a hold on Barnhart to bring this thing back. And just penalty after penalty for the Titans. And when is it going to change, you got to ask? When did the penalties stop?
How are they going to stop when you stop committing them?
I mean, of course. I mean, it's hands to the face, not holding, excuse me. And that's just frustration then at that point.
Yeah, I hate to be so blunt, but that's.
But you have to be blunt in these situations, I feel, though.
It's just been so many times. I think that's, the 15th penalty? I mean, it's just unacceptable.
I mean, they've had 35 penalties in the last 3 weeks. Also, with Hempfield, they had, I think, 8 or 9. So we're looking at 40 to 45 penalties in 4 weeks. They are averaging 8. We have another flag on the field, and it's going to be on Shaler.
False start called on Shaler.
And it's a false start on Shaler. And it just gets worse and worse for the Titans penalty-wise.
1st and 30 now for the Titans. Ball right on the 50.
And now Caden Orga up the sideline, catches it, tries to create something, puts a stiff arm down. He gets to the 45-yard line, stops the clock at 47 seconds.
Now the Titans do have 2 timeouts if they decide to keep going. And I don't know what exactly you have in the playbook for a 1st and 30, but they got 5, and now we got a 2nd down and 25 from the Indians' 45. I'd like to see the first time really in the game that the deep options have opened up for the Titans. Saw the drop there on the couple of plays ago with DiSabato, but that was going to be called back regardless from the Barnhart hands to the face penalty. Now 3 receivers to the left, the handoff to London, and he put it on the deck. He's going to have to fall on it. And he's got it with 40 seconds left. And it doesn't look like Shaler's going to call a timeout.
8-5.
And just in this situation, you're just going to have to accept it. 30 seconds and counting.
From the 40.
I mean, yeah, you're down by... Yeah, no, it's down by multiple scores.
Down 23 points. You have to score a point in every 6 seconds, or touchdown in 6 seconds.
So
and they're just going to accept it here. Clock will roll to 11, 10 seconds and counting. Teams will line up. And at the end of the game here at Lewis C. Martin Stadium, the North Hills Indians keep their playoff hopes alive. They move to 2-2 in conference. The Titan moves to 0-2 as the North Hills Indians come into the Lewis C. Martin and beat the Shaler Titans 31-8. And we'll do the post game here in the booth here at Lewis C. Martin. Matt, what did you see in that game that really caused this thing to happen here at Lewis C. Martin and lead to things becoming the way they did, 31-8?
And it started with the first quarter with the turnovers, and you like to see that because turnovers are so important. It's rare when you lose the turnover battle yet win the game. It really started to go downhill how North Hills got those first points. You remember how that happened?
Turnovers.
Pick 6.
Yep. And that's the thing. The first 3 scores they had were off of turnovers and drives.
Yeah, and then they couldn't get the run game going immediately, and they wanted to keep throwing it with Smetanka, which it's been sad to see from him as he's thrown 6 interceptions now in the past 2 games. It's something that's completely uncharacteristic, but for this whole Titan team, defense played a little bit better today, but the offense didn't get anything until a minute 37 left to go in the game.
I mean, I thought the defense played really well considering they were out there for 3 extra drives off of turnovers.
Yeah, and the defense really did play well. You have to disregard the first 7 points. If you do that, then you're thinking, okay, you've only allowed 24 points.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do as a defense when
like you're not on the
you're
field
out there every minute?
Yeah, and then the turnovers, and you had the other Smetanka interception that you said led the points, and then you had the Razzo fumble, which was just ones that kind of extinguishes hope. Even though it was in the first half, it was the point where we feel like we don't trust you enough to run the ball, that we're going to bring in our tight end who has never run the ball from a running back position, and we think that's our best option.
And yeah, again, it just got to be more creative from the Shaler Titans. You would hope that they can go into tomorrow, into the next week before they go into Pine Richland, which is a monumental game for both teams considering how that one goes. And you just got to wonder, will the Titans clean up? And for the Indians, you got to be happy going into Saturday saying, we just beat the Titans at their home field on an away game. We look pretty good, 2-2. You play Seneca Valley next, Franklin Regional, and then Pine Richland. They've got all to play for. The Titans right now are up in the air.
And yeah, they have their backs against the wall, and it is now a must-win game. You have to win out to make the playoffs. And now you're facing 2 of teams that beat you soundly last year. And maybe you got an advantage of maybe a Penn Hills. They underestimated their competition in the past. Pine Richland, we don't quite know. They're not the same team that won the state championship last year. I mean, there's still a chance. And you saw how the first 4 games went, but these last 3 have been very painful, especially from Smetanka and the offense, DiSabato, London. They're all thinking, this is not how we want to play.
I agree with you there, and for those guys, they're going to have to step up as senior leaders and captains saying, listen, I've got 3 games left if I don't make playoffs. I've got to play my heart out, and I've got to get everybody on board with me. Because right now, the captain needs to lead the ship, and that's what you need to see from the Shaler Titans.
Yeah, and the ship, you got to hope it doesn't end up like the Titanic, because it's been rough.
Can't let it crash and burn with the talent you have on that field.
But yeah, even though you still have 4 wins on the season, it's not all doom and gloom. However, if you said your goal was to make playoffs, right? And if you want to make that goal, you got to win out.
And I agree with you for sure. And if they do decide to win out and play like the Shaler Titans of the last couple of weeks before these previous 2, it'll be at Pine Richland next week. So join us there. That's all for us here at Lucy Martig on SATV. John Irwine and Matt Brucker setting off. Have a good night and a good weekend, Shaler area.